don't get no money from you, but I'm going to give you $50,000 worth of advice on what to do.
Yeah.
And part of the advice was you need to just fall back for a hot minute. Give us all a rest because it's enough. We're exhausted with you. And also, everything that you do smacks a little bit of hypocrisy.
Mm.
The 15%. Okay, well, where's your 15% in your own companies and your own charities, Meghan? You don't seem to have it.
Hi, all. Kinsey Schofield here. She's sharp, fearless, and never fooled by Sussex spin. Paula Froelich is NewsNation's royal and entertainment guru, a New York Times best-selling author, and an award-winning journalist with 20 years of experience separating fact from fiction. We're so lucky to have her back. Thank you so much for being here. And also, you're on YouTube. Like, you're active on YouTube. I have a date with you next week. Tell us about your YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. I just started a couple weeks ago. I started being active a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it's all celebrity and royal. It's the inside scoop. So it's here are the stories, and here's the real story behind the story. So it's at Paula Froelich, and y'all are welcome to come join me.
Yeah, come hang out. We're having a party. Um,
Exactly.
Wait, we're actually doing it Friday. We're doing it this Friday. So if you want to
We
come
are.
watch us live, we'll be live on Friday. I don't remember if I asked you this question the last time we spoke, but it was heavy on my heart as I prepared for
Mm,
this interview. So I'll ask you this time. You have been covering entertainment for decades.
mm.
Had you heard of Meghan Markle prior to her dating Prince Harry, or was she only on your radar after Harry and Meghan started dating?
She was only on my radar after. So let's be clear. I was never a Suits fan. I
Who
mean, I
was?
know,
Have you
I
met
know.
one?
Thank you. It was like people were like, at the height, it had 750,000 viewers. I was like, I mean, what is that? Like a CNN midnight show? So, people didn't really watch it. Then just for giggles, once I heard her name, I was like, let me go check this chick out. And I was like, oh, oh, whoa. I mean, I'm not an acting coach, but if I was, I probably would not have had her as a student. God bless her. She was a great suitcase girl on another show I did not watch. Deal or No Deal. But, God bless her. Everyone's got to try. And the thing that I had my red flag up about her to begin with was she thought she knew the media. Now,
Mm.
at first, I'll be real
Paula,
clear. I
she still thinks she knows the media.
Girl, she thinks she knows everything. I mean, here's the deal, Kens. If you and I had been born with that amount of self-delusion and narcissism, we might be running the world right now. However, we are kind of realists. And I say that because you and I are actually, I think, talented and knowledgeable and willing to accept help or advice.
Yeah.
I mean, no one has it all figured out. Absolutely no one, except for, of course, Meghan. But, in the beginning, I remember writing a thing for the New York Post saying, Harry's the one marrying up. She's divorced. I went to college. She has her own education. She's got her own money. I was excited.
Yeah.
And then quickly that excitement was flushed down the toilet with a lot of charm in.
That is
So,
a hilarious visual. The
oh,
hope, the faith, the excitement right down the
yes,
drain. It's
it
so true. She
was.
was just so cute and felt so fresh and new.
Mm.
And like it was all fake. And how disappointing.
It was all, you know what? I think it was fake to her. It was real, but I think she doesn't discern between acting or real life. I
Mm.
think she takes on roles in her mind.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I used to call it kind of like the Paris Hilton version of truth. This is back in the 2000s, and it's kind of Donald Trumpian as well. When someone says something, and they truly believe it, except for you were standing right next to them and you saw with your own eyes, which were not lying, what actually happened. So, it's very fascinating to me how, this insane victim narrative really just began once she realized that everything she did was not
all butterflies and rainbows. That's such a great segue into our first story, because Tom Sykes just sent out this email. And this
Mhm.
is a post on his Substack as well. The title: William says Harry lied about the great dog bowl fight. William's camp says Harry has massively exaggerated, to your point, the famous row. He writes, Prince William apparently denies Prince Harry's famous story from his memoir, Spare, that a row
Mhm.
between them turned physical and ended with Harry being thrown into a dog bowl, which smashed and cut into his back. Was blood drawn? Tom asks. According to the new book, William and Catherine, the Monarchy's New Era, William is adamant there was no physical violence during the confrontation, which Harry said was prompted by an argument about Meghan Markle treating staff. You just mentioned it. These two love to tell their truth,
Mhm.
their version of events. And I think exaggerating is like so much a part of that. You think about the Oprah Winfrey interview and they talk about the racist. And in your
Mm,
mind, you just like you think about the
yeah.
telephone game that somebody probably said, "You look like Bozo the Clown. You're a beautiful biracial woman. I wonder what your babies will look like." And all of a sudden they're accused of racism.
Yeah. And, as Chris Rock said, even black people would be like, I wonder what their babies are going to look like. But, I mean, here's the other interesting thing. Harry's the one who has a history that is actually well documented in the press of having a very bad temper and getting violent. He's the one who has thrown punches at photographers before. He is several times. He is the one who has been the rowdy lad, if you will. And, he's also the one who, how did Queen Elizabeth say it? Whose reflections have varied. Recollections have constantly varied, if you will. And his recollections vary to the point where he's almost always the victim.
Always.
And, whether it did or didn't happen, I mean, again, I have to say, I'm from Ohio and Kentucky, and his behavior over the 2 years he was in the palace, if he had come from where I come from, he would have been laid out 6 months in. So, hey, I can't really blame William, but if William said it didn't happen, I'm cool with that too, because Harry has had varied recollections on many things in the
Right.
past.
It's the drug use. I
It's
know I'm torn because I'm like, how sexy are William and his big balls
Ooh,
to take Prince Harry down. But then at the same time, I'm like, but Harry is probably lying. He is probably exaggerating. I'm sure William was frustrated. You know as well as I do that when you work for the British monarchy, you're
mhm.
doing it for the line on your CV, your resume.
Oh
You make
yes.
nothing. You make
Nothing.
no money to do that. And so
30,000 pounds a year. That's a
yeah,
cup of coffee in London.
exactly. And so these people are doing it because they love the family. And William and
Mhm.
Catherine try to reward them and try to be great bosses because they recognize that. And there's Meghan cornering an employee saying before the marriage, saying, I'm probably going to be your boss one day, and already trying to intimidate these people.
You know what this reminds me of?
Hmm.
So back in the days of me covering celebrities nonstop, I still do now, but this is, as a deputy editor at Page Six, 1999 to 2009, and you saw it a lot. It's kind of like the difference between new money and old money. It's like new stardom and old stardom, people who are kind of raised right and people who weren't. It's like or even like the nerds in high school who went on to become the big jock in the popular frat. They take on behavior they think they should have. And so Megan, I think, came in with, now I'm going to do this and have a sense of entitlement. And so it was like, here's my bad behavior. It's not bad because I'm Megan. And this is how people act when they're royalty. And you're like, oh, geez, oh, Pete, you know what? Here's the deal. You still got to be a decent damn human, and there was clearly no one to pull the brakes on her in London or at home. And, personally, I recognize this. Back in 2003, 2002, I was working also on air for ET. And for a hot minute, I became a bit of a monster. And I went home for Christmas one time and I'm walking with my sister through the mall and I look at a guy and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I need that, blah, blah, blah. And my sister goes, wow, Paula, you were a real bitch, that guy. And I said, shut up, I was not. And she goes, why don't you hold on a minute? Turned to the guy and goes, hey, was my sister just rude to you? And he goes, yeah, you were. And I went, ah! But it was also like, I am very thankful I had somebody to be like, yo, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
You're being a jerk. Meghan had no one to pump the brakes, and maybe she got rid of people who would have pumped the brakes. And Harry certainly wasn't pumping the brakes. He was so vagmatized. He was like, oh, whatever you want. That's right. She's right.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
vagmatized is the word of the episode
I mean,
because
it's
that is
really
exactly what's going on to this day. Okay. We
yeah.
believe that. So your verdict is that you think that this version of events, this that Harry's just exaggerating in this new book is likely the true version of events. That it was like it wasn't that big of a deal. This was an opportunity for Harry to
Mm.
wave that victimhood flag, and he was still in the desperate to garner sympathy phase when he wrote that.
I think I think yes, I agree with that. Except for I also add in, I think Harry truly believes that happened now. Going back to what we were
Oh
just
my
talking
gosh!
about.
Yes,
Sometimes people can tell themselves an event of a story and make it so real in their mind that actually happened.
yeah. Also
So,
known as an ayahuasca trip.
it totally, or Paris Hilton 2001.
Hey, listeners, look, sleep is so important, but too many of us are missing quality rest each night. That's why Dream by Beam is my new go to. It's made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients: reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. The sea salt caramel flavor is my absolute favorite before bed, made right here in America by founders who believe in hard work and integrity. So, if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling sharp. No grogginess. It's delicious too. They're offering my listeners an exclusive discount into the new year. Go to shopbeam.com/Kinsey, use code Kinsey, and get my exclusive offer for up to 40% off Beam's Dream Powder. With my discount code Kinsey, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Seriously. I mean, think about it. How much would you pay for a truly great night of sleep? With our discount, it's just $1.25 per night. So go to shopbeam.com/Kinsey today.
Let's talk about this video of Prince Harry that I'm Were you as startled by the video of Prince Harry last week talking to the bereaved families in Los Angeles as I was? He breaks down. He's so animated. I had a body language expert call him Newsome hands because his hands, he's just like rubbing his belly. He's just so animated. And I thought to myself, I think I'm witnessing a nervous breakdown in real life. I know I should be more sympathetic towards it because of the subject. But then Meghan goes days later and posts Lily's face clearly on Instagram. So you're like, well, now I can't take you seriously. What was your
Uh-huh.
initial reaction when you saw that Harry video?
Oh, I think he got himself jacked up. I think I think it was natural jack up. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he was, I think he jacked himself up. He was like, that's right. I'm going to come out and, and he's so desperate right now to be the face of something, to be the spokesperson for someone, to be the person who embodies something nationally in the States. As well, he does, but not what he wants to embody
Yeah.
at this point. He kind of embodies like weird hypocrisy because then of course Meghan does the same thing the next day. Now listen, I have met with the people from Fair Play who are backing the lawsuit against Meta, and they are doing wonderful jobs, and it is very hard to listen to those parents or anyone involved in that case and not feel for them, and I get it. But none of those parents are also going on podcasts saying you should think very carefully about putting your children onto social media. So I think he doesn't see the dissonance because I don't think he's the sharpest knife in the drawer, but we all do. And then Megan's going out and putting Lily up. I mean, okay, first of all, where was Archie? Ow, that's gotta hurt. And just so we're clear, that's going to be some shrink bills in the future. However, for Archie,
Yeah.
But I definitely think that, you know, it strikes you as a little odd. It strikes you as a little off, and it's just kind of like, dude, did you talk to your wife about this?
Yeah.
Or is it just, yes, Megan, all the time? I had a source tell me who went to Sandringham. Is it Sandringham? It's the, not Sandringham, that's their estate, Sandhurst,
Mm.
with Harry. And I said, what's this all about? He goes, well, Harry always liked a firm hand. And I was like, hello. And he was like, yes, well, he married another firm hand.
He
And I was
did.
like, okay, certainly did.
We'll talk about it in a second, but like as you say that, I visualize the NBA All-Star in I guess underneath the tunnel as they're walking out to their floor seats. The way she aggressively is like feet in front of him,
Mm,
you get the sense that she would have never fit into the British royal family because you're not the boss. Like you can't like you can't be a bull in a china shop. You
no.
can't like rush in the room. Everything is choreography and everything is so delicate. And if your
Mm,
husband's rank is higher than yours, you can't be in front of him. And she
yep.
just doesn't give an F.
No, no, she does not. I mean, I think in America, it's like break the rules, forget the rules. But here's the deal, it's about playing well with others in the sandbox, which
Mm.
she doesn't. And, the thing is, she's always been steps ahead of him. And in every appearance they've done, she's the first one out, boom, and he's there. He's kind of become, again, the spare again.
Yeah.
But it was when they were in the royal fold, there was a couple times where she tried to go out past him and he had to kind of grab her arm and bring her back.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, listen, I'm a strong, independent lady. I
Yeah.
like to get where I'm going. You know, I don't like to walk behind my man. I like to walk with my man, but not ahead.
No. I know, me
You know,
either. That's such a good point. There's also that video that I'm sure you're familiar with. I think it's Trooping the Color, where he's literally giving her a play by play of what's happening and what's appropriate. And she's turning around trying to talk to him. And he's like, look ahead. Because he knows that
mm,
there are cameras zoomed in on them. And she's frustrated because she doesn't like waiting for the planes to go ahead. She doesn't know what she's
right.
waiting for. But this is like not a learn as you go job, Paula. If I,
Mm,
like I'm Googling, I'm asking a million questions. Like, I want to make this work. If I, as Meghan claims, am sacrificing my entire life for this family.
yeah. And also, by the way, you're going to want to take direction. It's like going into a new job, talking to people about the culture of the company before you go into the company, talking to people who work there, and, kind of working with HR and working with managers. That was never going to happen with her.
Mm.
It's kind of like, dude, not only did you not do your research, although we know you researched Harry, even
Yeah,
though you said
that
you
is the
never,
Google we know you did.
hello. I mean, what was it? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Like Jennifer Tilly was like, I mean, come on, Megan. It was the best. I'll send you the clip. It's hilarious.
It's on your
And
Instagram, I
everyone
think.
knows you
Yeah.
lied about that, Megan, girl. But it's also about if you're going to join the firm, it is the firm. It is not about you. And there are placements. And again, I've seen you talk about it before, and I've talked about it before. If she had just been a tiny bit calmer, if she had been a tiny bit more patient, and if she had worked a little bit better with other people in the sandbox, her and Harry would be the biggest things going right now because during Charles's cancer treatment, during Catherine's cancer treatment, they would have been on the front lines. But now they didn't want to. They wanted their own thing, and she made a huge mess of it. And I
Yeah.
don't think she knows what to do about it, except for I don't even know if she's aware that it's a huge mess.
Yeah, like leaving all of that behind to sell us loose fruit spread. I'm sorry, I'm not
Girl,
impressed. You
girl.
mentioned we were talking about the Instagram. This is kind of in line with the Instagram story. This story that says Meghan Markle believes giving her and Prince Harry's children a platform could be very lucrative on social media. Before like we get into the details of that story, I'm curious to know because you said, does Harry talk to her about what he says before he says it? I'm
Mhm.
curious to know if you think she shows him her Instagram post before it goes live.
Oh, I think she does. I think she's like, honey, this is gonna happen. He's probably like, okay, babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly cross-eyed. Oh, I love you.
You're
One
so
more time in the
beautiful.
bedroom.
You smell so
But
good in America and you smell
oh,
like hot dogs.
yeah, hot dogs and candles with no wick. But it is kind of like it's just hypocrisy, that he's talking about how he was commodified as a child. And also, I mean, who's she taking lessons from? Kris Kardashian? That is clearly her god in all
Mhm.
things. Like, Kris knows how to do it. Notice Kris is not managing her or guiding her, but
Yeah.
she is trying to do the Kris Kardashian playbook of, look, the children will never have to go to school because they will have careers at age 10
Yeah.
and they will be doing this and this and this,
Because they're going to be selling apple juice on Instagram.
apple
Everything's going to be
juice
fine.
and Girl Scout cookies full of lead.
Oh my God. And so the
You know,
source claims that if products ever get attached to the kids down the road, that would obviously be hugely lucrative for the Sussexes. And they say there's no question money would be a part of the motivation. But this article says that Meghan and Harry look at Robert Irwin and Bindi Irwin as the examples that they could set, where then Archie and Lily could be passionate about the same charities that Harry and Meghan are passionate about. And it's
mm,
like, or no, this feels like influencer marketing. I'm sorry.
yeah, it does 100%. And also, just quick question, Kins, what charities? Because didn't they
Yeah.
shut those down? And also, I mean, it's just so absurd, man. Let them be kids. Let
Hmm.
them go do their own thing. And the thing about Robert and Bindi Irwin is that they were raised basically on a farm in the mud.
Yeah.
All right. They lived in the Queensland Zoo. I've been there several times. I almost married an Australian. Long story. But here's the deal. They didn't go to fancy places. They weren't living in $10 million, like $24 million homes. They weren't flying on private jets. They were in the mud wrestling things. All right. Now, I mean, come on. And they were also part of the family business in a different way because there was a clearly defined business. It's kind of like a farm. If you're on a family farm, everybody works on that farm.
Yeah.
Did Bindi and Robert have to do that? No, they didn't, but they decided they loved it and they're doing it.
Yeah.
The thing about the family business for the Sussexes is what the hell is your family business except for selling like a weird white labeled cheap looking products?
Well,
I'm
sometimes we do
confused.
calligraphy and sometimes we podcast and sometimes we're lifestyle hosts and sometimes we're
Yeah.
reality stars, but sometimes,
Yeah. And once a year we show up at a soup kitchen with a photographer.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, come on, dude. Like
Exactly.
they don't understand subtlety. It really confuses them,
I
which to
love,
be fair, confuses a lot of people. But
but it's
you
great
know,
for us. It's great for us.
yeah, but it's also just kind of like, dude, if you really believe something with your heart, there are plenty of places around Montecito. In East Santa Barbara, there are homeless people.
Yeah.
You could go work with them. There are plenty of abused women. There are plenty of, unfortunately, I should not say like that's a good thing. It is clearly not. But
Yeah.
even around their gazillionaire compound they live, the firefighters, there are things that you could work with on a weekly basis and STFU about it, and then it would come out naturally.
Yeah.
Kind of like Taylor Swift with her food bank donations that actually come out because a year later the food banks will be like, dude, she donated millions of dollars to us and
Right.
kept us alive last year.
Exactly. I know. I think all the time about Skid Row and how many
Mhm.
veterans are on Skid Row in downtown LA and what an impact it would make if Harry showed up down there or tried to
Thank you.
contribute in some way. But I mean, Harry, who wants us to associate with him with veterans through the Invictus Games. Do you agree with this line? Because I
Mm,
don't. The insider claims the level of public fascination with the children of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is on a whole different level, supposedly even bigger than the attention their parents generate. Adding both Archie and Lily are described as outgoing, animated, and adorable. I think because Meghan flirts with us when it comes to the kids,
mhm.
I don't give a crap about them. Like I'm checked out. I'm not going to engage. Am I just really cynical? Am I bitter?
No, no, I don't think you are, but I also think, you know, I I agree and I disagree with that statement.
Okay.
I do think the kids are the one ace up the sleeve that they have left.
Mm,
I
yeah,
think it's the one thing that would really, she would be able to launch something with that people might be interested in. But again, it goes back to your point of what does she want? Kitty influencers? She claims she wants these kids to have a normal life. How can you have a normal life when your mom keeps putting you out like that?
right.
There are plenty of celebrities who make a lot of money and they have kids and we don't see them. Not everybody has to be a Kardashian, but again, I think she's Kardashianizing her business plan.
Is there any way, because you're right, and I'm not, this isn't
Hmm.
praise to these two, but I immediately think of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who've done a really great job of protecting their children's identities. You never see a paparazzi shot with with their children clear, and they don't try to use their
Yeah.
children. Well, I mean, I take it back. Isn't Ryan Reynolds making one of his kids say something really vulgar in the Wolverine movies?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. I can't stand those two, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on from those two, but look at someone like Eva Mendes or the
Oh
other
yeah.
Ryan.
Oh,
You
Eva
know,
Mendes and Ryan Gosling, such a good example. That's such a better example.
they got
How,
kids, yo. We never seen them, and that's okay. And
yeah,
then, people are like, well, Harry and Meghan have to pay the bills. I'm here to tell you, years ago, when Diana died, she left Harry 25 million.
not only
Now
that,
you
but
could,
do you remember that Diana had left a ton of money to her godchildren, and her
Mhm.
sisters and her mother swooped in and took that money from their godchildren and reallocated that money. So, like,
Girl.
probably went to Harry and William. I mean, at least let's hope.
Well, I think it probably went to her because, if you reallocate money, you do it for a reason.
Yeah.
But $25 million over 15, 20 years, however long Diana's been gone, put it in the stock market, that is worth $150 million today. I don't think that they are broke. They are also, I think they have money. I think they just really want to be relevant. They're trying to say, oh no, Pa only gave us, did drop, cut us off
I'm
cold. He
40
didn't
years
cut them
old
off.
and dad cut off my allowance. Woe is me.
Yeah. And also, you got stuff in your own bank account because Queen Elizabeth also left you some cash.
Prince Philip.
The Queen Mom also
Yeah.
left you some cash. And Meghan also had money. So, yes, they have bills. It's crazy. But again, like dear old Uncle Andy, they like freebies. They fly in friends' private jets. They stay in friends' townhouses in New York, where they have their friends' house managers announce her to a room of one as the Duchess of Sussex. But,
And
you
we
know,
we get those messages every day of Invictus with a breakdown
girl.
of what Meghan Markle's wearing. And we're getting those breakdowns of exactly what's on Meghan Markle's body, likely because somebody handed that to her for free for the publicity.
Or she took it from a photo shoot because of a mythical contract that mythically states that she can mythically take anything for her archives. I've been on many photo shoots. I've never seen a contract like that. But also, no offense, if there was a mythical contract, wouldn't she be going out with a van full of everything because she doesn't want anyone to wear anything she
Yeah.
has?
Yeah.
Kind of like, Madonna's toilet seat. Girl, you ain't Madonna. Get over it. Just saying that I think they have money. They don't want to spend it and they want to be relevant. And they also want to be in the Beyonce billionaire category. And I don't think they know how to go about doing this, although they think they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Life is busy, mornings start fast, coffee is essential, and routines need to work, not complicate things. People want products that support how they live now because real beauty is about supporting what keeps you strong, radiant, and feeling your best. That's where Native Path Collagen comes in. This is not a trendy, overhyped beauty product. This is the real deal. It contains type 1 and type 3 collagen, which make up roughly 90% of the collagen found in the human body. These are the building blocks that support skin, hair, hair, and joint health. Native Path helps support those systems. One single ingredient, no fillers, no nonsense, just high quality collagen. Each morning, one scoop can be mixed into coffee or your favorite beverage. It dissolves easily, has no taste, and fits seamlessly into your everyday routine. Many people report stronger hair, smoother, more hydrated skin, and less joint stiffness, especially in the mornings. Try it yourself. Visit getnativepath.com/unfiltered to take advantage of a special offer today. That's GETNATIVEPATH.com/unfiltered for a special bundle deal at a fraction of the retail price, backed by a risk-free 365-day guarantee. If you want to look good, feel good, and actually support your body instead of just hoping your moisturizer is magic, Native Path is where you start. Getnativepath.com/unfiltered.
Well, that is a great segue into our next story. I want to ask you, I don't think there's really anything interesting about them at the NBA All-Star game, but I want to ask you about two appearances in the last 2 weeks. Meghan at the 15% gala. Do you think Meghan is attaching herself to Tina Knowles as closely as possible today because she's gunning for that Met Gala ticket with Beyonce as a co-chair this year? Or I mean, why are we seeing so much of her? I guess is my question. She doesn't have a new show to promote. She doesn't have a new podcast. Her products really aren't moving as much as she'd like them to, but it's not like she's promoting her podcast by sitting next to Queen Latifah.
Yeah, no, she's not. But again, it goes back to relevancy.
Yeah.
And it also, at the end of last year, the Annus Horribilis, their worst year, horrible. At some point, I remember writing something, and I was just on my Substack, and I was like, here's an open letter, because I don't work from you, I don't get no money from you, but I'm gonna give you $50,000 worth of advice on what to do.
Yeah.
And part of the advice was, you need to just fall back for a hot minute. Give us all a rest, because it's enough. We're exhausted with you. And also, everything that you do smacks a little bit of hypocrisy. The 15%. Okay, well, where's your 15% in your own companies and your own charities, Meghan? You don't seem to have it.
Yeah. Like
Where,
it was James Holt that was being paid the most within the Archwell umbrella until he pieced out.
yeah, totally. And I would like to see your, she doesn't seem very supportive of women or women of color unless it's for a public platform where she can get the accolades for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like
of
how
course,
my mind is so crazy, like one of those twisty straws that I'm like, it's Met Gala. It's Met
yeah,
Gala.
yeah. Well, no, she's that the Met Gala. I actually did a whole story on that in NewsNation, that she was excited that this might be, once it was announced, it was Beyonce, and that the Kardashians are heavily involved, and that Bezos and Lauren are, the money behind it. She was like, all right,
This is my year.
I think I could get it, but then you're just like, dude, I don't know if the Kardashians or the Bezoses want you taking the oxygen out of the room again, So we'll see. I
But
think she's
also,
got a better.
do you and I, like we're so cool. Do you and I
Mhm.
even care about the Met Gala anymore?
No, not anymore. At this point, it's become I call it cosplay for
Mhm.
billionaires,
Yeah.
and
Will
it's
we
bad.
ever forgive Katy Perry for showing up dressed as a hamburger?
I'm sorry, or just inviting Katy Perry in general. Or like last year, and it's not even that. It's just that it's performative.
Mm.
Anna Wintour last year was, about African American tailoring and black design, and everyone showed up wearing not black designers.
Yeah.
Nobody actually understood the history of it all. Nobody understood that there are insane African American and African designers, but nobody went out on a limb
Yeah.
for that. And it all just was like, oh, okay, this is performative so that Anna doesn't can try to whitewash her reputation of being mildly racist. And by mildly, I put that in quotes.
What do you think about Chloe Mall? What are you hearing about Chloe Mall? Because we know Megan's tried to get close to her.
Listen, I ain't mad at her. I think
Mm,
she got an uphill battle
yeah.
because we all watched that New York Times video with her and Anna. Anna with the sunglasses on, appearing corpse-like for much of it. And Chloe being like, yeah, I'd do a podcast studio. I would pay people better and have more people on the social team, which is, I don't know what you're supposed to do these days. And Anna's like, well, of course we have a decent budget. I'm doing my eyes because that's imagine what she's doing behind her weird ass glasses. But I think Chloe was put into place. She's very young. I think because of her youth, Anna thought she could be malleable.
Mm.
And I don't know how this is going to end.
Will Chloe recognize that not all PR is good PR because it does seem like a lot of these
Yes.
magazines look at Meghan and go, everybody's going to be talking about it. And yes, we did talk about it for a week, but that doesn't mean I went and picked up whatever stupid magazine she was on the cover of.
Oh God, no. No, no, no. I
Yeah.
mean, here's the deal. If you actually look at like, let's look at Harper's sales. That disastrous cover.
Yeah.
Got a lot of clicks online, not a lot of sales. So the clicks were actually for the story, but a lot of people didn't even click on the story because they went to the Craigslist version of the
Right.
story, and it was also one of those things where it's like, oh wow, you look like a fool.
Also,
Wow.
she's so cr crazy, allegedly. She sounds so
Mhm.
crazy when she gives interviews that if you are a sane human being, it's easier to pursue the Cliffs Notes. Like, let me just see what the
Yeah.
Daily Mail pulls, because to read around her word salad, it actually exhausts my brain and it
Well,
frustrates me.
well, that's because Kinsey, you don't have a Montecito translator. Okay. I'm waiting for the Duolingo to come out with the Montecito, and it's all Oprah-isms,
Yeah.
where you feed everything that they say, kindness, blah, 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 goodbye, blah, 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 and it comes out like, hey, this is real talk, because they actually need that.
Yeah. Yeah. They do.
A Duolingo with the Montecito for American.
Exactly. For the rest of us, for the rest of us.
Yeah, for the rest of us who have to deal with real life and don't want to buy a $15 tea bag.
Oh my gosh, I do not want to buy, although I probably need one right now. I want to ask you about this is just in general. How do you feel about Harry and Meghan divorce rumors? It's
No.
there's a story here that says Meghan Markle's mega meltdown pushes Harry marriage to the brink. Says Meghan is in full meltdown mode. She's blaming everyone around her for her troubles. I mean, that's easy to believe,
Hmm.
especially Harry, and people around her are afraid
Mm-mm.
she's losing it. She's seeing everything she left England for falling apart and terrified she may have to go crawling back. I mean, I don't think Harry would ever leave her. But do you
No.
think that if he's no longer of value to her, she would ever consider leaving him?
Nope. I think the only way she would leave him is if Jack Dorsey knocked on her door and was like, hey, babe, let's go hang out. I'm a tech billionaire.
Yeah.
Then she would leave him. A
I'll get
hundred
you
and
double
ten percent.
verified. I'll verify you twice, baby.
100%. If she got like a Bezos-like character, yeah, she would leave him in 2 hot seconds.
Yeah.
But no. And Harry's not leaving at least until the kids are 18, and by then he's locked in. It's very Duke and Duchess of Windsor.
Yeah.
Like you made your bed, you got to lie in it. Meghan, I think, understands at this point her only value is tied to Hair Bear. So, and Hair Bear's family. So, of course, they have to go back. Of course, and the question I'm asking now is that Harry let it slip, or Harry's camp let it slip, that they were absolutely they were told that the security was already done. All right. I ain't heard no announcement.
Yeah.
It's got to go through, it's got to go through
The
two
Rabbit
different
Committee.
levels.
Yeah.
And one level before it hits Revex, so at the parliamentary level, okay, maybe, I mean, during the Associated Newspaper, when Elizabeth Hurley had testified in the case against Associated Newspapers in the Daily Mail, he went to support and then dipped out real quick in the middle at lunchtime and didn't come back because he went to Parliament to
Yeah.
go
To smooth
check up
schmooze, as they
on
say. Yeah.
the Baroness and some others to be like, oh, hey, and we all know that like, gosh, I'm blanking on the name. I'm so sorry. But when he went to Ukraine,
Yeah.
one of the women who was head of the commission was,
Is it Sue Braverman? No.
no, girl, no. It's a different name. I'll think of it in a hot second,
I know.
probably at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
But,
I know.
he's been wooing these people in the Labor Party
Yeah.
to really kind
I
of go.
totally agree with you, but since the Epstein files, I feel like labor has taken such a hit.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Keir Starmer's, like, people are saying Keir Starmer has to resign, that I wonder if they still have the arrogance to shake things up the way they would if that decision would have been made 3 weeks ago.
100%. And also,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because people are so angry at labor and they're also broke. England's financial situation right now is not great. And they're going to be asking the little people to pay for Harry and Meghan's security.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be very popular, and ain't nobody popular right now. So a decision has not been announced. Now, I've also heard it won't be announced. You'll just see them show up again. However, I think that if it was happening, they'd already be over there. Now we're going to really find out in the summer when and if Meghan goes to the Invictus meeting that Harry is holding. But, they definitely need to refurbish some royal ties.
You talk about relevance. I think you're right. I think if they did get the yes, Harry would need to do the victory lap to just remind us all of how important he is.
100%. But I also think that Harry, while he talks about bullying and Meghan talks about bullying, they're kind of bullying themselves. They bully the palace, and they also do stuff like, we're announcing our wish list, and if it doesn't happen, then we're the victim again.
And y'all are still racist if we don't get what we want.
Of course, they walk that back, and of course they walk that back. No,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's.
We never said that. We never said that. The media, the UK media said that.
Girl, yes. And then, you're like, well, you kind of talked about it with, I don't know, what's her name? Oprah. But
and who talked to Omid Scobie? Okay, because somebody whispered something into Omid Scobie's ears.
Girl, yes. And I can't with that, with Omid. You got to read The Telegraph had a great teardown of his new book. It was hilarious.
Oh, I can't. That's given me something to do before bed tonight. I'm excited.
You have no idea. If you want the biggest giggle, type in Omid Scobie, The Telegraph book review.
I cannot wait.
Tears.
Well, I'm going to go suck on some peppermints so that I'm primed for our conversation on Friday live on YouTube. And yes, we'll be talking to you guys in real time. I know that that's not something that happens very often, so that's exciting. But we want you to know if you agree with us, disagree with us on what we talked about today. Let us know in the comments below. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Paula Froelich, you were just like sunshine. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Girl, I will spend time with you any day, all day. You are so fun.
Oh my God, so are you.
And by the
Can you
way,
imagine if we were together in real life?
Oh my God. You know what we should do? We should do a live stream from a bar.
I'm there in a month.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We're doing it then.
Let's do it.
On.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. It's a date. All right. Well, we will see you again on Friday. Head over to Paula's channel. She's going to be linked below. So it's going to be super easy to find her, and make sure you subscribe. I will see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.